Follow us as we walk down a deserted highway. Dead ahead lies vast wilderness rarely explored. Within the pines lies ancient secrets. Under the canopy of the forest hides Terror Cabin. This channel revolves around all things horror, from scary stories to movie reviews, and even video games. Welcome. Hello, horror fans. You've arrived at Terror Cabin. Our first horror movie review is Willy's Wonderland, a 2021 release directed by Kevin Lewis, starring Nicolas Cage and Emily Tosta as Liv Hawthorne. This movie is seemingly inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's. You'll never look at another family entertainment center the same again. Without further ado, here's our feature presentation.
After a quiet drifter driving in the country punctures his tires, he encounters a tow truck driver that informs him of the extent of his repairs. With the quiet drifter unable to pay, he and the tow driver make arrangements. The drifter rides with the mechanic through town, where he encounters Sheriff Eloise Lund. She currently has one of the main teenagers handcuffed in the back of her squad car for previous attempts to set blaze to Willy's Wonderland. Sheriff Lund is the caretaker of Liv Hawthorne. After a brief discussion over Sheriff Lund's tire spikes, the blame diminishes. Someone quickly quashed the subject. Meanwhile, the mysterious stranger is informed by the tow truck driver he needs a little more repairs than previously expected. The stranger offers the tow truck driver his credit card but is abruptly declined. It seems cash is the only payment accepted. Jed, the tow truck driver, explains how there's no internet in Hayesville, so the ATMs don't work, he exclaims while sucking on a Slim Jim. Stranded and with no other options, Jed asks the stranger if he's willing to work it off. It's here I might note that Nicolas Cage's character doesn't speak a word of dialogue throughout this entire film. Jed believes he's got someone that can accommodate him and makes a phone call. After a brief transition, we arrive in front of Willy's Wonderland, where the building has sat abandoned for many years. We meet Tex McAdoo for the first time sporting a white suit and cowboy hat. This character does not disappoint. Tex McAdoo blathers on how he plans to turn Willy's around. However, the drifter is having none of it. He looks at a Tex sideways, prompting him to cut the crap. It's then Tex McAdoo makes the offer. Stay the night cleaning Willy's Wonderland, and I'll pay to have your car fixed and delivered here before you. This offer seems too good to be true, considering the outrageous mechanic bill. It's here where the drifter becomes a Willy's Wonderland employee shaking the hand of Tex McAdoo. They now enter the building, which looks as bad as a dump on the inside. Tex fires up an old television, singing and dancing doofily to one of many annoyingly addictive songs. Nicolas Cage's character stares daggers at Tex. After a brief description of each character about Willy Weasel, Ozzy Ostrich, Tito Turtle, Gus Gorilla, Artie Alligator, Nighty Night, Siren Sarah, and Cammy Chameleon, this makes up the animatronics of Willy's Wonderland. After this, we get a tour of the facility, and it's here we learn a little more of the backstory. Seemingly innocent Tex claims lawsuits from children getting hurt shut down Willy's. Tex then shows the drifter the cleaning supply room. In the corner is a nice neat pile of Willy's Wonderland shirts. He hands the janitor a Willy's t-shirt, saying congratulations, you are officially on staff. Tex explains he doesn't like to stay out past dark. He assures the new janitor of Willy's his car will be ready by dawn, or his name isn't Tex McAdoo. He also tells the janitor to take many breaks. Shortly after, Tex leaves, chaining and locking the janitor inside. Liv's friends, Chris, Kathy, Aaron, Bob, and Dan, show up to release Liv. But relief is short-lived as Liv asks her friends to help her save the mysterious man duped into looking after Willy's Wonderland. She doesn't want him to suffer the same fate as dozens of others. After departing, the teenagers are en route to destroy Willy's once and for all. In the next scene, we see the janitor earning his title as he painstakingly starts the process of cleaning. Picking up trash from tables and sanitizing surfaces before heading to the kitchen, break room. It's here where he continues his cleaning spree. When he gets to the fridge, he stops to place his beloved punch drinks in the fridge. These drinks are a character in themselves and feature throughout the movie. Shortly after the alarm on his watch sounds, is his cue to take one of many breaks throughout the movie. He takes a massive gulp of punch drink and saunters over to one side of the room. A protruding structure covered by a canvas catches the eye of the janitor. Walking over in an abrupt motion, he yanks the canvas, revealing an official Willy's Wonderland pinball machine. Intrigued, he blows the dust off the old relic before his watch sounds, his cue to get back to work. The janitor quietly mops, carefully soaking up the stains. It's quiet as the janitor turns around. He looks dead ass in the eyes of Ozzy Ostrich. Not fazed in the slightest, he swings the mop handle at the head of Ozzy, but to no avail. All of a sudden, Ozzy springs to life, uttering the words, "I'm going to feast on your face." The janitor and Ozzy engage in a standoff as Ozzy's sharp beak slices the janitor's face. During the scuffle, the janitor's mop breaks in two as Nicolas Cage utilizes some Con Air dance choreography, as the death of Ozzy Ostrich is both satisfying and comical. After opening a can of whoop ass and covered in blood, it's time to change into another official Willy's t-shirt. We get a brief scene of the police station with Sheriff Lund sitting with her male deputy before cutting back to duct taping his wounds like a badass. He goes to take out the trash before realizing he's chained in from the outside. His alarm beeps as he takes a drink of his beloved pop drink. He delicately wipes the dust from the pinball machine while swanky jazz music plays in the background. The watch alarm sounds, ending his break. Shortly after, he enters the bathroom of Willy's and begins one of many awesome cleaning montages. His work is interrupted as the animatronics start singing, luring him out of the bathroom to investigate. After arriving in the main lobby, the animatronics come to life singing, "It's Your Birthday." After contributing it to a malfunction, the janitor cuts the power to the animatronics. Shortly after, the bathroom door slams shut, now luring the janitor to the bathroom. After entering the bathroom, the mirror now reads, "It's your birthday" in blood. A voice rings out from one of the stalls. Playing a game of hot and cold, the janitor opens each stall door one by one in search of the voice. After reaching the last stall, Gus Gorilla swings down from the ceiling, kicking the janitor into the wall. A scuffle ensues. Gus Gorilla ultimately meets his fate while head first in a dirty urinal as a janitor crushes the skull of Gus Gorilla. The janitor wraps his injuries with more duct tape and places Gus Gorilla in a black trash bag before leaving him by the front door to be discarded in the dumpster. Break time is upon us once again as a janitor takes the time to file his nails. At this point, the janitor has the pinball machine fully restored to its former glory and is getting down to a mean game of pinball. After discarding his punch pop in the trash, we have a cutscene of Willy's Wonderland sign lit up in the night. Shortly after, Liv and her friends arrive to save the day. They begin to pour gas on the building before realizing the janitor is locked inside. They have a debate on whether or not they should burn him alive. Liv convinces her friends to try to save him. They reluctantly agree and establish contact through a dirty window. The janitor dismisses the teenagers and goes back to cleaning. Liv says she will figure out a way to get inside but doesn't want to put her friends in danger. As the janitor cleans, Liv finds a way in through the ventilation shafts. She carefully climbs, looking for a way in Willy's, but she's not alone. Artie Alligator is hot on her ass as she barely escapes the chomping teeth of Artie. She pushes the grate down at the last second and slides free as Artie's teeth clamp down, nearly missing Liv. Meanwhile, the kids are outside smoking herb and trying to figure a way inside. We cut to Liv, who is now face to face with Siren Sarah, a creepy animatronic with razor-sharp teeth. Ring around the rosy can be heard in the background before the creepy animatronic lunges at Liv. All her friends hear her screams. One of the teenagers happens to be Liv's boyfriend. There's another scalawag resembling a broke-ass Chris Brown that argues about saving Liv. The arguing stops as one teenager climbs the access ladder to the roof of Willy's Wonderland. The janitor's on scene where Liv was screaming. Shortly after, she falls on top of the janitor, knocking him to his back. The teenagers are on the roof debating on saving Liv. All of a sudden, the roof gives way, crumbling from decay. The teenagers fall into the ball pit below. All the commotion brings Liv out of hiding, reuniting her with her friends. The animatronics come to life as Liv pulls a knife on Siren Sarah. Just then, the janitor grabs the arm of Liv, stopping her attack on the animatronic. Quirky music plays in the background as Liv and a few friends go off to find the janitor. Chris Brown and his girlfriend go in search of a place to get his canoe shellacked. While in the break room, the teenagers inform the janitor of Willy's horrifying history, revealing cult sacrifice and even murder. The owners of Willy sacrificed themselves and possessed the animatronics, exclaims the teenagers. Completely unenthused, the janitor nonchalantly carries on his duties. Meanwhile, Chris Brown and his girlfriend find a place to shag. The next scene shows the four teenagers in the main lobby when the animatronics come to life, humming a horribly catchy theme song. I could feel the tension here. The music cuts out when we see our next kill. The lights shut off then surge back on, followed by a sword plunging through the stomach of a teenager. The sword belongs to none other than Nighty Night. This teenager's death was both jarring and surprising. Liv helped to get her friends in this situation and apologizes profusely when her friends die. Meanwhile, the teenagers are slaughtered as the janitor casually drinks punch energy drinks while artfully dancing, completely unaffected and unbothered by the supernatural mayhem unfolding outside the break room. Shortly after a cutscene, we see Chris Brown and his girlfriend getting it on, completely unaware that they are not alone. With Artie Alligator watching, they look up but don't notice Artie. It's here where we get our next kill. One of the teenagers, isolated and alone, stumbles off into a side room. Under flickering lights where Siren Sarah and Cammy Chameleon get a hold of the frightened young teenager, making this kill both unsettling and a bit unsuspected. Nicolas Cage, at this point, is having loads of fun playing Willy's pinball. Break time is over as he steps out of the break room. He confronts Nighty Night, laying the sword down, putting Nighty Night to sleep. This kill cemented in stone Nicolas Cage as unstoppable and a total and utter boss. Meanwhile, Chris Brown and his girlfriend are sexing it up when Artie Alligator sneaks in, taking a chunk out of Chris Brown, improving his falsetto. His girlfriend is killed off-screen. Soon after, the janitor and Liv arrive to see the carnage. Artie Alligator is in a mid-feast. Wasting no time, the janitor meets the croc head-on, wrestling the jaws of Artie like Crocodile Dundee. The janitor breaks the jaws, avenging Chris Brown and his girlfriend. Soon after, Liv stands over the bodies of her dead friends, apologizing profusely. A common thread throughout this movie. Not long after this scene, we focus on another teenager, Liv's boyfriend, who takes refuge in the arcade, hiding in plain sight. Cammy Chameleon enters the arcade calling out to the teenager. Cammy Chameleon says she's trapped here by evil and that she's good. The teenager believes her and steps out of hiding. A brief dialogue ensues. Liv enters the room, not before Cammy. Chameleon unfurls her lizard tongue, wrapping it around the neck of Liv's boyfriend, snapping his neck like a twig. Next, we get a scene between the sheriff and her unlikely sidekick. The sheriff gives the rest of the backstory, explaining how the animatronics kill. Also revealing the sheriff and the townspeople are responsible for setting up families and individuals from questionable backgrounds. In other words, if people won't miss you, you're a perfect candidate for Willy's. It's here we also learn the tow truck driver Jed is also in on the caper. In a flashback, we see Liv's parents donning Willy's t-shirts getting annihilated in front of a younger her, revealing her desire to see Willy's defeated. High on punch energy drinks, the janitor briefly appears before his alarm goes off, notifying him it's break time. Cammy Chameleon is looking for blood, but good old Nick has better things to do as his alarm notifies him it's time for another game of pinball. He leaves Liv with a knife and goes on break. These scenes always crack me up, especially watching how Nicolas Cage seems unaffected by his current circumstances. The janitor enjoys his punch pop energy drink while dancing, shucking, and jiving. Liv engages with Cammy Chameleon in a fight to the death. Break time is over for the janitor while Liv has the upper hand as she stabs Cammy Chameleon. Nicolas Cage steps in the ring, laying down the gauntlet as he grabs hold of Cammy Chameleon, flailing her about like a rag doll. Dragging Cammy by her neck, Liv and the janitor encounter Tito Turtle and Siren Sarah. Without skipping a beat, the janitor skillfully strikes Siren Sarah, before sucker punching Tito Turtle. The janitor and Liv drag out the trash, but not before being met by the sheriff, urging the two to drop the garbage. Here is where we confirm the deceitful sheriff is working in the best interest of Willy's Wonderland. With a shotgun in hand, she commands the duo to drop the trash. Apologizing profusely to the animatronics, the sheriff holds the janitor and Liv at gunpoint, issuing more apologies. The sheriff also urges her deputy to handcuff the janitor, leaving him bound and defenseless. She commands the deputy to take Liv away. After a brief cutscene, we focus on the deputy and Liv en route to the police station. Liv manages to get the deputy on her side, but it's short-lived because Tito Turtle is hitching a ride on the roof of the squad car. After coming to a brief stop and rolling down the window, the deputy is attacked and dragged out of the car while being quickly killed by Tito Turtle's claws. Next, we get a brief transition of the janitor teabagging Siren Sarah to quirky kids music. The janitor breaks free from his bindings before assaulting Cammy Chameleon. This scene is both over the top and hilarious. After this, we focus on Liv retrieving the shotgun from the squad car and pointing it at Tito Turtle before realizing he has the bullets. Not deterred, Liv swings the butt of the gun, knocking him down, before swinging several more times. Meanwhile, outside Willy's, the sheriff falls asleep as the janitor works diligently, disposing of the bodies along with more cleaning montages. Here you see the hard work pay off as the janitor restores Willy's to its former glory. After the janitor finishes his cleaning frenzy, he engages in a brief stare down with Willy Weasel before heading to break. While there, the janitor gets his game on while he dances and claps on beat before topping it off with an artful spin, all while slamming punch energy drinks. With more than a fistful of caffeine to your kisser, the watch alarm sounds, abruptly ending the dance-off. It's back to work as the janitor takes out the trash, stepping outside. Sheriff Eloise Lund, who still lies sleeping, awakes to see the janitor still alive and well. With a shotgun in hand, the sheriff springs into action, escorting the janitor at gunpoint as they enter Willy's Short One animatronic. A brief stand-down ensues as Willy Weasel sneaks up behind Eloise using his claws, slicing her in two, drenching the janitor in blood. Without hesitating, Willy, who's towering in height, proceeds to slice and pummel the janitor, hurting him before knocking him into the ball pit. After a while, the janitor rises, stepping up and out from the ball pit, casually walking into the break room. Using improvised weapons like MacGyver, the janitor places his beloved punch drinks in a sack with two broken mop handles taped together and steps out from the break room. Confetti flies everywhere, providing a colorful backdrop as the janitor steps directly in front of Willy. Nicolas Cage beats Willy senseless till he can't walk, talk, or find his jock. The janitor becomes the victor, crushing the skull of Willy and yanking the head from the body. Shortly after his death, we have a cutscene of the Chevy Camaro doing donuts while the engine roars with great power. It's the mechanic from earlier making good on his promise to fix the Camaro. The mechanic parks the car directly in front of Willy's, revealing Tex is waiting as the mechanic gets out and tosses the keys at Tex. After their dialogue, they enter Willy's, expecting to walk into a slaughterhouse, but this is not the case. The inside of Willy's is in amazing condition, and everything is spotless. Tex and the mechanic can't believe what they see. Just then, the janitor walks out from the kitchen, surprising Tex and the mechanic. He steps directly in front of Tex and extends his hand, gesturing for his keys. Tex relinquishes the keys to the janitor. Tex and the mechanic stare in admiration as the janitor depart Willy's, never to return. Outside, the janitor encounters Liv, who's standing outside. The janitor climbs into the driver's seat of his souped-up sports car. Liv joins him as they take off burning rubber. After entering the vehicle, Siren Sarah uses Tex's discarded lighter to set fire to his car's gas tank, killing them all. We see the last remaining animatronic. Tito Turtle walks directly in front of the high-performance Camaro. The janitor hits the gas, hitting Tito head-on, sending him reeling through the sky, flipping wildly before dying, officially ending Willy's reign of terror. Shortly after, the camera cuts out, the credits roll, ending the movie. This flick was no doubt interesting to watch. It was enjoyable seeing the way the animatronics moved and some of the kills. The true star of the show was Nicolas Cage, who gave a convincing performance as the janitor. His cleaning montages inspired me to clean my house in the same fashion. I liked the practical effects and some of the special effects. The story, however, was lacking and could have taken itself a bit more serious. The dialogue between the animatronics was very corny and forced. The teenagers' dialogue suffered from the same fate and could have used more depth. We give this 3 out of 5 chainsaws. And that concludes Terror Cabin's review of Willy's Wonderland. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to more gruesome content.